Hello, my beautiful friends. Namaste. I'm Jill Loftus of Nuit, Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of February the 12th, 2024. This is a week that I want to really highlight your personal safety and the larger cycles at play. I want you to be very cautious and careful this week. This week packs into it a lot of volatility, a lot of uncertainty. And so even though it is the week that we traditionally celebrate Valentine's Day, there could be a lot of uncomfortable energy, and I want you to feel prepared. You will begin to feel this right off the bat as we begin the week. Sunday, actually all the way through about February 18th, we're going to feel this volatility in play. And this volatility is the meeting in the sky of Mars as it wraps up its movement through Capricorn and moves into Aquarius and immediately touches, or as we would say, conjuncts Pluto. This is the first contact of those two powerful planets in the sign of Aquarius, and it is setting the tone for the rest of their contacts for the next 20 years. Often when Pluto moves into a new sign, it kind of announces its energy very boldly. And so you might see this volatility not just in your personal life, but in the world at large. And when we feel those periods of upset, which I think, there's always something complicated going on. Really, there always is, all right? That's just part of the human experience. But I want you to be really wise about your consumption of media and social media. I want you to pay attention to where you get your news from and try not to tap into the more negative or darker or heavier forces that sometimes Pluto and Mars can bring. And instead, embrace the transformational qualities, the idea that you can, again, hone your unique individual talents in order to become useful, helpful to the collective, to everyone. And take responsibility this week for your own personal energy. So as we start the week, again, we've got this connection. Mars is going to be at 29. Whenever Mars is at 29, there's kind of a push to completion. But boy, just 1 degree away from Pluto, you're going to sense that feeling. So try to not be argumentative, angry. Don't aggressively push through to get something accomplished. There could be accidents. There could be miscommunications. There could be all kinds of problems. There could even be problems with technology. So this is a week to be a little cautious. On the 13th, we have the precise conjunction, the meeting of Mars and Pluto. And so Pluto has the upper hand here because it's the slower moving planet. Mars will feel that pressure. And it's interesting, Scorpio energy is considered, the ancient ruler was considered Mars, and the modern ruler Pluto. And so there is a scorpionic kind of energy to this, secrets perhaps being revealed, ulterior motives coming forth. Just really pay attention to your individual karmic patternings and how they play out. And then also look at the larger and broader world to see what you can do to adjust and adapt to the new energy. Now, Venus is sending really nice energy from Capricorn to Neptune at this time. I really am grateful for this beautiful connection. And so really, use your own body, your own heart, what you love, what you value, what's important to you, to find inspiration, to manage, to deal with, and find the silver lining in some of these more tense contacts. All right. I am paying attention to next the 15th of the month. And when we hit that point, we'll still be dealing with the Mars-Pluto, right? And preparing, because Venus is coming up and getting ready to go through the fire of Pluto transformation as well. But we pick up a really nice energy of Mercury in the sign of Aquarius, sending blessing energy to the nodes of the moon. Now remember, the North Node is co-present, traveling with Chiron right now, really exposing the places that hurt, the things where we don't feel whole or complete. And this can be a force that can urge us to heal, or it can put us in denial, right? It can make us want to run or flee away from our problems, or we might really feel that strong energy that we want to resolve some of these issues. And that doesn't always mean that we are repaired or fixed, or even that we are made whole, but it means that we acknowledge, we see, and we understand the areas where we feel tenderhearted or where we feel a little less than, and we work with the counter energy of that, right? So if you find yourself kind of feeling any sense of overwhelm or inability to handle what is happening, do remember that karmically you are never given more than you can handle. And it's an important concept to really embrace, understand, and believe when we have a week like this. All right, on our 16th, Venus is going to dip into Aquarius, and now she meets up with Pluto. And so we feel this Plutonian energy to the goddess. She goes into the underworld of transformation. Remember, with all this Aquarian energy, there can be this kind of a level of detachment that you can sometimes perceive as indifference. And it's important not to engage in these kinds of phrases that people sometimes use, like, well, I guess I'll just have to get over it, or things of that nature. It's important to detach to the point you can scientifically look back and use your brain to analyze the situation and know what is the wise choice, what is the smart thing to do. That is the highest energy or highest expression of air energy, right? And so, but when all this air, all these ideas are flowing, we have to really watch our resonance level, because if we resonate with some of the heavier mental patterns that are out there, or love patterns that are out there, or value systems, if we resonate with those groups of people, then those connections can actually drag us into darker places. All right, so be a little more careful with the group energy this entire week. We also have a little stressful Mercury aspect on the 16th. It is going to square Uranus and Taurus. So all week, technology might not be your friend. So have your backup systems in play for sure. Now, this Mercury square Uranus is also going to be kind of, the visionary version of Aquarius. Like, what is possible, right? And Uranian energy in the sign of Taurus might financially make it seem impossible. There might be weather events. And again, technology might not be your friend, right? So slow down a little bit. That is also the 16th, the day when we have another pretty long moon void. For East Coasters, it's 10:01 a.m. until 2:39 p.m. Eastern. Not a time to sign a contract, make a commitment, send an important email. That is a floaty time that is better for inspiration, for meditation, for art, and things of that nature. All right, on the 17th, remember, we have now a stellium, 3 planets traveling very closely together. We have Venus, Pluto, and Mars, all in the sign of Aquarius. This is really giving you some big Aquarius energy focus in that area of life. You will see a theme. And if you know where Aquarius is in your chart, it might really help you to kind of understand the bigger, broader lessons that are going to be delivered over these next few years. Don't forget, Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn and Pisces and Jupiter and Taurus are still making a really nice little sextile. And so there are bits of optimism. There are bits of positive things that are happening. And it's important that you train your mind and consciousness to turn towards those brighter, better things. As we finish up the week on the 18th, the sun will move into the sign of Pisces. So happy solar return to my Pisces babies. This will begin to shift some of the energy. This week, last couple weeks have been really Capricorn, Aquarius. And as we get towards the end of the month, even though we will still have, of course, some placements in Aquarius, the party will be in Pisces. We will have a lot of energy in that area of life. And that could make so that things be very inspired, inspirational, really feel like you're enmeshed in something, but it could also feel like you're walking. I described this, I think, in one of the tarots. It's like walking in a pond that's muddy and you can't really see what's underneath as you take that next step. It requires faith, it requires trust, it requires you to slow down and really try to see what is actually happening, what is real, what is true, and what is actually happening for you individually, and not get too caught up in some group karma. All right, I made a listing of the 3 ways to really positively work with this energy this week, and one is intuition. I keep saying intuition. It's not that you ignore logic, but if you like tap in and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna do this today, or I think I'm gonna slow down. A great example is once I was driving and I looked down at my odometer and it turned to 666. Which I know sometimes has some negative connotations, but 6 is my lucky number. And so I immediately tapped the brake. And right in front of me jumped a deer, which I really believe that I might have hit if I had not touched the brake. But I saw the symbol and it immediately made me think, wait, what's going on here? All right. So pay attention to that intuitive, those deep intuitive hits. Number 2, appropriate detachment so that you can see clearly. Okay, emotionality can cloud our vision. The emotionality of other people can cloud our vision. And so take that Aquarian giant step back and try to have some perspective on things this week. And then finally, remember that nothing that is truly yours can be taken from you, and nothing that is not yours can be kept. And so if things are falling away or falling apart, it's okay. It's only because they need to be rebuilt. Now, the 3 low vibrational things that I want you to avoid this week, and you're going to have to be really wise. 1, anger, upset, accidents, ego, all those types of things. You see someone displaying that, don't get in there with them. Don't mud wrestle, okay? Take a giant step back, okay? I'm not saying don't have healthy boundaries. I'm not saying don't defend yourself, whether it's verbally or physically. But I'm saying avoid those types of volatile events or situations. Number 2, I let go of the need to say the last word, have the last word. All right, try to do some real adulting in your communications this week. And finally, watch out for group energy that could go sideways very quickly. I have 3 children, and my baby is a boy. And I remember telling him as a young man, look, whenever there's a group of you, it's the kid with the lowest IQ that it tends to be the leader, all right? And people tend to fall in step, okay? Because someone's bold or brash, or they don't want to seem like they're not, part of the team or playing along, or, whatever. Watch for volatile group energy. Be the one that steps back, sees what's going on, and makes a super wise, measured choice this week. All right. Tarot is super interesting. There's definitely some tricky cards, but there's 2 distinct different ways to work with the energy. So be sure to stick around for that. If you found this useful, helpful, please comment below. I'm wrapping you all in light this week, and I'll see you in the tarot. Hello, my beautiful friends. Namaste. I am Jill Loftus of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your Isis Lotus Tarot spread for the week of February the 12th, 2024. Definitely a week where the astrological caution flag is up. White lights, shields up. Let's see what the 2 different variations for the week are for the collective for this week. Major turning point energy. Okay. All right, use the top stack is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. Sorry. Every so often it's not super clear. All right. Basic influence of the past. So interestingly enough, I'm recording this a couple weeks early. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's transpired, but the devil. Yeah. All right. That's the past. The present is you. You're not seeing something. You're in denial about something. You are willfully not seeing the truth of something, and it suggests that you should really take a look. Now, present environment, we've got both the Fool and the Queen of Swords. So the Fool energy representing, anything is possible. The Queen of Swords is also saying, but you need to use logic in order to achieve it. Queen of Swords was a very potent card last week as well. The beginning of the culmination of these energies, Page of Swords. So either you or somebody in your environment is being immature, impractical, not doing the hard things, complaining, whining, fussing. Okay, this is not what we need to be. Spiritual people, we have to be mature. Key card of the future, 8 of Cups. You have to walk away from something. This is the card that says you cannot worry about how much time, energy, love, whatever you've poured into this thing that is no longer working. It is time to move on to something new. The opposing forces in play. First up, the Hermit. Pull back, withdraw, take some time alone, think things through, meditate, pray. On the other side, the High Priestess, again, these are two deeply spiritual cards. One is a little bit more of the earth plane, right? The Hermit. The High Priestess is definitely more of a spiritual card, all right? You are being guided, believe me. But this one, I feel like you have to move on in some way, and the Hermit is more like connecting to your deepest inner self. The High Priestess is the way to go if you are someone who already has an existing practice where you really work with your angels and guides and you need to tap into them, okay? Near future detail card, Queen of Cups, an evolution, moving towards using your healing and holistic abilities. You're helping the world in some way, right? And so this is a deeply intuitive card. Now, the modifiers are Five of Pentacles, a concern about money and practicalities. On the other side, the Ten of Swords, something not going according to plan that feels like a failure, but you really need to look at it in a different light because it's just freeing you up for something else. Neither of these cards are comfortable cards, okay? All right. Paired with the Five of Pentacles on the Hermit side, we have the Eight of Wands. There is more information coming. There is something that's going to shift or change very rapidly. You need to be change adept. Do not pour energy into the lack mentality here. And then over here on the High Priestess, Ten of Swords side, we have the Three of Pentacles, which indicates you are going to need to rebuild, but that's okay because you've already made some inroads and efforts in this way. Well, our possible solutions or progressions on the Hermit side, we have the Three of Swords. This thing that goes down is not 100% comfortable. On the High Priestess side, we have the Knight of Swords. Now we have to begin to apply some rational logic and take some actions. Paired with the Three of Swords on the Hermit side, the Chariot. There is another way to do this. You just have to collaborate with the right people in order to get where you're going. And on the High Priestess, Knight of Swords side, Ace of Pentacles, which is interesting because it was the same outcome for last week's spread. So this looks like a very complicated week, which is in alignment with the astrology. So this basic influence of the past, the devil, there's difficulty, strife, negative emotions, problems, and you're kind of not wanting to see it clearly, all right? But the environment is really saying to you, look, there's two ways to go here. Magical thinking or practical thinking. Magical thinking or practical thinking. And just watch a maturity. Watch a maturity, all right? Let go of the thing you've got to let go of. Tap into your angels and guides, however that best works for you. But withdraw from the fray and decide what you want. You will step into a role that is more empowered, but absolutely intuitive. Now, there could be this sense of lack and things feel a little unstable, things happening rapidly. Emotionally, you're going to be feeling not so great at certain times. There's going to be some low-level worry and concern. But you have to move forward and you need to collaborate with others to do it. On this other side, instead, you've got this energy of the High Priestess and something will end. It will feel not great, not comfortable, but it's making space for this new thing that you've already started to send energy to. You kind of knew this was coming. Approach it logically and start the new beginning. Wow. Well, quite the month or week, I mean. I wish you the absolute best. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your trusting me. And I'll be holding everybody in my heart, in my thoughts, in my meditations and prayers. We were made for these times. Don't forget it. Bye.